For the first time in 23 years, we're offering 1 at 7 High Street Mordialloc. Ladies and gentlemen, now's the time when I hand it over to you for your competitive bidding. Please start me off wherever you like. You know our range. We've had about an 840 to 920 as our range, and I think it's a very realistic range. And as I said to you, I believe the reserve has been set at a very realistic level. Start me off where you like, ladies and gentlemen. Anywhere at all, I don't mind where we start. It's where we finish that I'm really interested in. Can I see a start anywhere at all? Anywhere. Don't be nervous. You want to get up here and do this all day? That'll make you nervous. Can I see a start anywhere in the 850, perhaps? Can I see a start around 850,000, ladies and gentlemen? That would be very reasonable buying, very good buying for this property. I'm not sure that the vendor would accept it, but if I could see a start of 850, I'd at least get the auction started and we'll get going. Anyone? Don't leave me hanging. At 850, at 50 I've got. Thank you so much. At 850, I thought I was going to be on my own the whole day. At 850 over here on the left-hand side. Fair bid, starting bid at 850. We'll make it nice and easy. We'll go up to just $10,000 rises if that's all right. At 850 for the first call. Might be a really quick auction. 850, the second call. At 850, 860 I've got. 860 against you. At 860 right in the middle here. At 860, and we're just taking it up in $10,000 rises nice and easy. At 860, straight in front of me here. First call at 860. Second call at 860. 870. Yep, 870. 870 we've got. 870 there. 870 we've got. Can I see 880? 870 there. 870 there. Can I see an 880 at 870? Fair bid. First call at 870. Second call? 876. Oh, 876. I was going in tens to make it easy for me. 876. I'll take the 876 at the minute. At 876. At 876. Another six. At 882. I got into real estate because I'm not good at maths. And now you're doing this to me. 876 and 6 is 882, am I right? At 882. Thank you. Thank you for making it more difficult. At 882. 882 back against you. At 882. A round figure would be great. At 882. First call, 882. Second call. Another 6 is 888. That was quicker. At 888. At 888. Over here. At 888. That's 898. Yes? At 898. Can we round it off to 900 at least? At 898. First call. Second call. Third call at 898. 900 we've got. At 900,000 we've got. Right in the middle here. At 900,000. Can't wait to hear what the next bid is. At 900,000. At 900,000 in the middle here. Fair bid. First call at 900,000. Second call. I guess I will. At 902. At 902,000. At 902. At 902. First call. 902. Second, I'm looking straight at you. Who else am I going to look at? No one else has bid. At 902. 906 we've got. At 906. At 906. In the middle here. At 906. Two-horse race. Now, if anyone else wants to get involved, please feel free. We're at 906 in the middle here. I probably should tell you that we've reached the reserve price. We've passed it. We're going to sell the property today. It will be sold if there's no further bid at 906. Yes, I got confused. So at 906 we'll be selling if there's no further bidding. 910 we've got. At 910. All right, this is the important part of the auction, ladies and gentlemen. We're selling. At 910. First call. Second call. 912. 912 in the middle. 915. At 915. 916. At 916. I have to take the ones now because we're selling. At 916. 920. At 920. At 920 we've got over here on the left-hand side. At 920,000. At 920. At 920. Are we all done? All right. At 920, if there's no further bidding, we will sell the property. At 920 on the left-hand side. First, second, third call. Are you all done? Are you all silent? 925, fresh bidding. Okay, at 925, thanks for waiting for the last minute. It's very exciting. At 925, fresh bidding over here at 925. At 925. Are we all done? At 925. First call at 925, fresh bidding here in the middle. At 925. 5,000. At 930. At 930. 935, straight back at you. At 935. At 935. Another 6 makes it 941. At 941. 945. Nice and quick. 945. 949. 949. 955. We're at 955,000 straight here. At 955. 957. I'm getting better at this maths thing. 960. There's a lot of calculators going on over here. At 960. 970 I'm at now. And 975. Thank you for making it quick. I'm getting really dry throat here. 975. 980 we're at. 980. All right. At 980 over here. At 980 with the original bidders. At 980. So often happens, ladies and gentlemen, the original bidders. At 980. For the first call. Second call. Third call. Are we all done? Are we all silent? At 980. We are selling, sold. And congratulations. Well done. Thank you everyone for your attention and attendance. Another successful Hive auction. I really appreciate you all coming. Thank you so much.